Hi everyone, hope you're well. We're back on the 67 Heel Heel channel with me, Hamish Carton. Now, international breaks, nobody really likes them. This one's probably been slightly better, maybe due to the fact Scotland are playing slightly better, but in general, they are just horrible 10-day, 2-week long periods without Celtic. No games played at club level. We have to focus on international football, and to be honest, the vast majority of it is pretty forgettable. You'll be delighted to know then that Celtic are back this weekend. However, sadly, our joy at having Celtic back will only last for around a month before the next international break. However, in that 4-week period, we will fit in 7 matches, and they are absolute crackers. Every single one of them are belters. So I thought we could have a little bit of fun on the channel today, or I could have a little bit of fun more specifically, and look at these 7 games, try and give my predictions well in advance of some of them, and just see where Celtic are now and where they could be in 4 weeks' time. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Right, first one is obviously this Saturday. It's the first derby of the season, ourselves against our rivals Rangers. They're a decent side. I don't think many people watching this would deny that anymore. You know, they got to the Europa League last 16, a round further than us, of course. But I do think player for player, even with the guys that are missing from our squad, we are still far stronger than them. The lineup that Neil Lennon puts out should be far stronger than the lineup Steven Gerrard, almost forgot his name there, puts out. So for that very reason, I think we will win the game. Lots of people seem to be thinking that there's going to be loads of goals in the game. Don't know quite where that comes from, to be honest. Maybe both defences are still seen as being quite ropey. I actually think it's going to be quite a low-scoring game. I actually think there may only be 1 goal in the game, and I think we're going to get it. If you're wanting a kind of game to judge it on, how I'm seeing it, possibly the one a couple of seasons ago, and I think it was Steven Gerrard's first ever derby match. It was at Celtic Park. Olivier Ntcham scored the winner. We absolutely battered them that day, but only had 1 goal to show for it. I could see a similar kind of game this weekend. I feel like a lot of people have written Celtic off, quite similar to the first derby of last season at Ibrox, when everyone, including some Celtic fans, were just expecting us to turn up and be battered by our rivals. I think, as I say, we've still got far better players than them. Our top players will shine on the day, and I think we've got a lot of players in that team with a point to prove in this fixture. Shane Duffy's got a point to prove, I think. Albion Ajeti, if he's fit, will have a point to prove. I think El Yunusi has a point to prove. I think Scott Brown's got a massive point to prove in this fixture. I think we've got that hunger, and maybe Rangers don't quite have that, having dominated us for the last couple of games. So I think we'll see a hungry Celtic, and I think we'll get this 7-game run off to a winning start. 1-0 I'm going for. So we play Rangers, the huge game on Saturday. Thankfully, the game a few days later is a much lesser fixture against AC Milan. Probably one of the biggest clubs in world football. Yes, they're not one of the leading clubs at the moment, but I think only Real Madrid have won more European Cup/Champions Leagues than them. So they're still a huge name. They come to Glasgow the following Thursday, round about a week from now, and I think we're going to do them. I say do. I think we're going to win the game. I don't think we're going to absolutely smash them in anything, but I think we're going to win. Couple of reasons I say that. The obvious one last season, the fact that we beat Lazio at home, and I think we deserved that win, even though Fraser Forster made a great save from Cataldi late on in that game. I think the chances we created, we deserved to win that game, and I think Lazio are a better team than AC Milan. Also, the fact that AC Milan themselves have their big derby against Inter this Saturday, a few hours later than ours, only I think 4 or 5 hours later. I think it's a 5 p.m. kickoff at the San Siro on Saturday evening, live in Premier Sports. Will those extra hours help us? Probably not, but I think the fact that they've also got a derby, and the fact that they play AS Roma, one of the better teams in Italy, just a few days after playing us, albeit that's on the Monday as opposed to the Sunday, I think could have a factor, or play a factor as well. I think we're going to win this one. I think it's going to be another familiar scoreline from the past. Remember, we beat them 2-1 in the Champions League about 12, 13 years ago. I think we could see a repeat of that. Celtic 2, AC Milan 1, and a bit of late drama again. Wow, the games just keep coming thick and fast. A few days after that, we go to Pittodrie, a place that we've won a lot over the last few years. In fact, I can't actually remember the last time we didn't win there. However, it is still one of the tougher away games that we come across in a league season. They've had a really good campaign so far, Aberdeen. I think they've only lost 2 games in domestic football at least, and they both came at home, so they're better on the road, and I think that could play into their hands in this game. I think we'll be full of joy having just beaten Rangers and Milan in successive games, and I think we will this time batter Aberdeen, similar to the one a couple of seasons ago that we won the league. I think we'll win 3-0 at Pittodrie. Don't be surprised to see Albion and Ayeti and Odsonne Edouard getting on the score sheet and working in that partnership together. I think we're going to be pretty buoyant at this stage. However, it may all come to maybe not a shuddering halt, but certainly we'll come back down to earth a little bit, I think, when we go to Lille 4 or so days after that in our second Europa League game. Lille currently joint top of the French top division, Ligue 1. They're actually second on goal difference, I think, to Rennes, a team we know well. They've played 6 games, unbeaten, won 4 of those. They sandwich their game against ours with games against Nice and Lyon. So those are 2 good sides that we've already faced this season that Lille will have to get used to playing alongside the games against ourselves. So it looks like a tasty game this, but I just think away from home, having played so many big games over the last 10 days or so prior to this game, that they may be too strong for us, and it may be 3-1 Lille I'll go for here. Disappointing obviously, but I think when you put it in context of the other results that we've had so far in this run, if things go well, then I think you would take it. And yeah, when you're doing this video, it really does bring into focus just how big these games are over the next month or so. Now, I know I keep going on about it, but it really is crazy. I've never seen a Celtic fixture list like it in the past at all. Every single game is huge, and the next one, which is the second successive Sunday meeting against Aberdeen, this time at Hampden, it's last season's Scottish Cup semi-final. Had it been played last season, had there been no COVID, Johnny Hayes would have been on our team against Aberdeen. However, the way things have worked out, he'll be part of the Aberdeen team that will take us on at Hampden, and I think this could be a tough one. I'm predicting extra time, having been to France a few days earlier. Aberdeen have got a free midweek, and also the fact that Aberdeen have won every single game away from Pittodrie in Scotland this season, obviously other than the Sporting Lisbon game in the Europa League. I think that means that it could be a really tough game, so I'm predicting extra time here. I think we'll come through 2-1 after extra time, after a 1-1 draw in 90 minutes, and we'll be on for a 4th successive Scottish Cup title. That should put us in a really good frame of mind as we take on the other team in the Europa League group. It's actually a battle of the top and second top seeds, ourselves and Sparta Prague. Doesn't quite feel like it for some reason in that group, but they will be the visitors to Glasgow for our final Europa League game of this wee chunk prior to the international break. Despite losing our game a week earlier in Lille, I think we'll be full of confidence for this one. I think we'll see a real opportunity to get another 3 points on the board at home, and I think we will beat Sparta Prague 2-0, clean sheet obviously, and I think the 2 goal scorers, because I'm going to go into that much detail, will be our new front pairing, Odsonne Edouard and Albion Ayeti. By the way, Edouard at this stage has roared back into life. He's back to the player we know. There's no more questions about him sulking or being unhappy or not pleased with how things are going at the club. He's roared back into life. Ayeti scoring for fun, and everything is right in the world. Celtic 2, Sparta Prague 0. And finally, to end this magnificent run of 7 games, the easiest fixture of the lot, just a small matter of going to Fir Park to take on Motherwell. Of course, it's a really tough game. Again, we've got a decent-ish record, I think, there over the last few seasons, although we have dropped some needless points over the years. Last season we were brilliant there. The second game in particular springs out, a 4-0 win, I think that was in early February, and I could see us doing similar here. I think the players will all be focused, knowing that it's the final game of the chunk. They can see the finishing line, the light at the end of the tunnel, all of those various sayings, and they can get another comprehensive victory. Motherwell 0, Celtic 4, and I think that would leave us in an absolutely wonderful position. We'd have played these 7 games, won 5, drawn 1, and lost that one away to Lille. We would probably be top, or certainly in the top 2 of our Europa League group. We would be almost certainly at the top of the Scottish Premiership, and even if we weren't, we'd have a couple of games in hand on Rangers, and would be in the small matter of the Scottish Cup final. So that's what Celtic can achieve over the next wee period. On the flip side, things could go pretty bad if we don't get the results we need, starting on Saturday against Rangers. But is it not just the kind of fixture list that gets you excited? And if it's getting you excited, and it's certainly getting me excited, surely it's getting all of our players and the management excited as well. It's time to go Celtic. Let's get this season underway finally.